I have on my high table our interim executive director, the father of this house, in the person of Professor Kehinde Ogunjobi. Please, shall we see you, sir? We also have our representative from Tessin Weber. Please, just give us a wave. We have our director of capacity building. His name is Professor Connie Dauda. And we have our senior scientist in the person of Dr. Seni Salak. We have in our midst about 10 media houses for this press conference. We have TV3, we have GTV, we have My Joy News, we have UTV, that is the local station. We also have Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and then GTV, that is the Ghana Television. We also have Daily Graphic, we have Ghana News Agency, we also have BFT, we have Business News. If I'm leaving one out, we have Star FM, and please, the media houses, did I mention all? Okay, so these are the media houses we have with us. They will listen to us and has all the burning questions regarding climate change or climate services within the West Africa. I hand over to our father, Professor Kehinde Ogunjobi, to tell us all about what we need to know about this project and what he expects from the media. Thank you.
Is during our meeting is the customized and integrated climate service provision for improved livelihoods and for improved social development of West African citizens. So it's a project that is being supported by VMBF. VMBF is the Federal Ministry of Research and Innovation in Germany. And we are also conducting this project in partnership with Jerix. I believe you begin to wonder who is Jerix. Jerix is based in Hamburg, in Germany, and Jerix is a very experienced institution in the provision of climate services in Germany and the entire of Europe. And I think Wascal is a partnership with Jerix also in developing and providing climate services for our region, West Africa. So this is a very important occasion for us in Wascal. And we believe that West Africa, as we have known and as we have heard, that West Africa is not immune from the issues of climate change. Several presentations in the last few days, since yesterday, we have seen how the signals of climate change have been affecting us also in Africa. Rising temperature, variability in rainfall, droughts everywhere within the region, shortage and issues of food security, and all the other compound events like heat waves, ravaging our region. So we believe that it is now time actually to develop services which could be useful to organizations, institutions, private organizations, like we said, NGOs, CBOs, that conduct activities on behalf of the citizens in our region to be able to provide information, to be able to provide scientific data, to be able to provide scientific evidence for them to take to the citizen in order to reduce the impact of climate change in our region. Of course, it is no news, and I'm pretty very sure that in all our countries we have known that climate change is affecting everybody. Like I said, it has been reducing our food productivity, crop yield are being affected if there are issues of climate change. Our health is affected. Infrastructure within our region is affected, isn't it? So a lot of things are all compounded with issues of climate change. And so this is one of the cardinal pivotal focus for Wascal to do in providing climate and environmental services for our region in order to mitigate and also to reduce the impact of climate change in our society. And I might just quickly summarize this. And this we are doing together with our Department of Capacity Building, where I said yesterday that we are also involved in building capacity, especially young scientists in the region West Africa, to be able to take up the issues of climate change, especially the issues of climate science. And we train them at professional levels, at master's and PhD, such that they are uptaking there at the country levels in our respective countries within the region. At the country level, they are uptaking and be able to, solve the issues of climate change and its related problems, within our region. And of course, like I said, we have the Director of Capacity Building here with us. And I'm glad to inform the press and the entire region that we have built capacity in this area for the past 10 years of the existence of Wascal. And we have provided or produced over 400 capacities in various thematics of climate change. We have various centers of excellence of climate change spread across various lead universities. We call them lead universities in our region. For example, here in Ghana, I'm happy to inform you that we have a center of excellence in Kwame Nkrumah University, which is on climate change on adapted land use land cover. In Nigeria, for example, also we have two centers of excellence on West African climate system and then climate change and habitation, both at the Federal University of Technology, Accra, and also at the Federal University of Technology in Mina. In Benin, for example, again, we have at the University of Abomi-Calavi, we have climate change and water resources. In UCAD, in Senegal, climate change and economics. In the Gambia, climate change and education. So we have all this, not to waste your time, in different thematics of climate change. And these are what we have put together. Research conducted, science-based information that we derived from our capacity building, and also the scientists at the Wascal Competence Center that is based in Ouagadougou. And we combine all this data together, this evidence together, to build what we call climate and environmental services, which will release to private organizations, for NGOs, for CBOs, for ministries, departments, and other related agencies, where they uptake these results, in solving related problems of climate change.
When people have realized that, or community have realized that, the issue of CO2 is increasing in the atmosphere because it was there since the creation of the world. But if it is increasing, so we need to take a decision. Now, conference parties have decided through the country to meet, and we are now 28 COP. I think there have been some conferences organized, the convention during years, and one of those conventions was the Convention of Shanghai, where it came to a rewarding system to tackle the issue of disaster. And after COP2015 came, where the party also decided to take a lead in terms of commitment to say this is action we are going to take to reduce our footprint in terms of carbon CO2 production. So this COP came again also. Every COP there are some decisions. I think this is the one where, since the one of in Egypt, people were talking about loss of damage. How we can also bring contribution from those who are polluted, the main countries, so that can help to support those who are facing the pollution, like Africa, 3.9% compared to the other country. You know, for example, China is the one of the biggest. You can say the biggest. It's also the biggest one. We're also dealing with a solution, alternative solution like renewable energy and corporation. So for this COP, they were given some small fund, which is around compared to what they promised. They promised to give 100,000 million, 100 billion per year. But now they are given only 700,000 something. But people have said we don't have anything in a fund as fund. So let us take this as starting point. So this might not be enough, but at country level also, I think we should do more. This is also where this commitment of Wascal also collaborating with countries before this, because this fund also, we need to see how the fund will be available for countries. In each country, they have to establish some kind of rules and some kind of condition to get people having this. For example, my brother who is sitting in a village, maybe at 1,000 kilometers from the main county, main city, how he can get benefit from this fund? Maybe no. For now, we don't know when. So Wascal initiative is a very welcome one, but this initiative for climate service, I think we started this even before, since we have having our research output from our students and also from our scientists. But this is the way where we want to see through one of the big projects Wascal is having, which is the Wascal Research Action Plan 2, with RAP 2, where this project also has been developed based on assessment of need in the country. Before to develop the RAP 2, Wascal went to all the country partners of Wascal to identify what we call national consultation. What is the need? Because we want to move from academy, from research, to now how we can deliver some result to the end users. It's about the end users, those who are sitting far from the researchers, those who are sitting far from the university. They cannot get access to the university, they cannot get access to the lab where we have high-level equipment, but they can get access to the product, the research product. So we want to now deal with those people. Imagine some people is sitting maybe in Ghana somewhere, where tomorrow he don't have any means, he will assist to see the post-harvest loss coming from his production. After harvesting his banana or harvesting something or fishing, you can assist to those who are destroying because you don't have any solution. So Wascal also want to bring some solution to those people and also to the decision makers. That's why after the national consultation, where we came with RAP 2, we know what is the need in different countries. We come to regional consultation, and after we built this big project has been supported by BMBF. We really are grateful. And also after, under the leadership of the interim executive director, we have been able to say, we have some project running under the RAP 2. Let us see what can be the research output of those projects. What can we take from this lab, this academy to the beneficiaries? As I said, we are doing already the services, because before that, I'm sure through some project like upscalers, there are some services Wascal is doing. Through also what the students are doing, we have some projects. We have also some even technology developed in collaboration with Competence Center with our master program students. But this is a particular project where we have the need of stakeholders. That's why we were able now to bring all of you to now say we are going now back to deliver some services. But we cannot do all, as the interim executive director have said. We need to start by some countries. Like Ghana is part, we have a lot of service, starting by the data, we have training, we have also to deal with the issue of migration, and I'm sure in collaborative way, where we start in the WARA2, we can also be able to identify the need, what people really need, and also bring to them the result. We are not doing any research here. We are bringing the result, the research output to our beneficiaries. We do it also through the collaboration of institutions. So those institutions like DOAD is here today to hear what we are doing. It's about the sustainability. We want to really to thank Jerry for also having this support, bringing this new support to Wascal. So this is where I want to say in the COP issues and also what we are doing now through this project. Thank you.
Of Wascal climate services, climate and environmental services. However, the current funding is time bound. And this is why we need to look forward into sustaining the system after the current funding has ended. So the current funding will last for 36 months. Then we need to look forward into the next 10 years, 20 years, of course, what type of funding we need to put in there to make it sustainable. So Cyprus itself is not time bound. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Wascal and the entire region to develop regional climate services. So, and on behalf of our director, Professor Daniel Jakob, so she is very pleased to implement cyclists together with Wascal to develop user-driven climate services for West African countries to help them to adapt to the impacts of climate change. Since 2022, JERX and Wascal have signed a general cooperation agreement in the areas of climate science, development of environmental and climate services, knowledge transfer, and capacity building. And cyclists can be considered as the first
data map. There is what we call the big hole. It's not a hole as in, it's a hole is a blank space on the map where you will see that there is practically no accessibility to in-situ ground data. So data has been a very major issue. Nowadays, we are now beginning now to fill in the gap using reanalysis data, satellite data, remote sensing data. But scientists seated here will still agree with me that satellite data and other still need to be ground truth and validated with what? With ground data, with in-situ ground data. So data, not to waste much time, data is an issue, and we are calling on our government. It's very important to reiterate this during this press conference. We are using this medium to call on our government to invest. Every other developing country has invested heavily in the issue of instrumentation in climate science data. Our government needs to wake up. And I'm very serious on this, and I'm talking as the chief executive of one of the institutions tackling the issues of climate change in our region. That our government needs to support development of infrastructure for data densification in our region. Our national Met services, of course, they are trying their best. They are doing their best, and Wascal has also been cooperating with the national meteorological or hydrological services in the region. But I want to see, as much as we are cooperating with them, there are still huge gaps, because one of the major challenge, and I think I want to use this medium to address our government, our states, is that one of the major challenge of these national services is maintenance, maintaining those infrastructure that they have. In fact, from the research that conducted by Wascal, 40%, unbelievable, 40% of infrastructure in terms of facility for observation network, the observation network in our region, West Africa, they are not in good condition. They are not even maintained. They are not archiving data. So we need to really, I'm calling on government to really put more funding such that our national meteorological agencies and services, can upgrade. They can maintain they can expand. They can expand their services. This is their network. Their network. This is really very, very important, and I want to stretch that. Apart from that, I think Seni has mentioned some few things. Is also infrastructure is also very weak, because for you to do anything on climate change, you need to equip your facility in your lab, starting from your high performance computing system, your basic laptops, your data. We have mentioned data, upper here data, internet facility, electricity, internet facility. Thank you, Prof. Electricity. These are really very, very important. I remember in those days, you want to run, your model. For example, a model is to run overnight, and then you have fluctuations in electricity and bad internet. How is it possible? You want to download a CMIP6 data running to 1 terabyte of data. How do you download this with a bandwidth of your internet of less than 10 megabytes? 10 megabytes of down and upload. You are going to be there till everlasting. It will never download. I'm talking as a scientist, and these are what we are experiencing, in the issue of climate science research or climate change research, as you have asked it. So these are some of the problems that we are having. But the good news is that Wascal is also complementing what the government of our region is doing, because I don't want us to sound so broken. Don't let us sound so broken that we go away that is all negative. There are also positive parts, and Wascal is playing that role together with our partners. I believe our partners like SILS, Agreement, ICRISAT, they are also complementing what we are doing. For example, Wascal is supporting the national hydrometeorological services with facilities. We have donated 50 automatic weather stations. 50 automatic weather stations to all our member countries. We have also donated 60 automatic hydro sensor also to the river basins. These are efforts that Wascal is doing in order to reduce the gap that is existing, for example, in infrastructural facility, in climate change.
We want to develop something for the parliamentary or even the president to get fund. So maybe it might not be the way if you want to develop something for the farmers or the fishing people who are far from the cities. It is for both citizens and also rural people. So, but as Dr. Salak has said, we'll be part of the implementation. You'll be part of the implementation to identify what is really needed to go to the farmers or to go to the decision makers.
When it comes to develop products and services, and this will need a foundation in trust and also in collaboration. And I think this project is a very good example how different institutions can work together and support the effort in developing customized climate services for West African countries. Thank you.
Collaboration as well. So the partnership, we are really, first of all, we built the project based on partnership. This is what you can see with the proof of Garrick City here. But moving forward in its implementation, the co-production is one of the most important approaches that we work to. And this is why I was saying we don't have the so-called end user. We have stakeholders, we have users, and each of them playing a certain role in that concept of co-production. So collaboration is a very key and very important aspect for us to move forward, sharing data as well as knowledge.
Council of Wascal that have supported us this far into the development of the climate and environmental services for Wascal. It is their product. We are only an institution. We are their institution, which the Council of Ministers are using. And I think is a beginning of new dawn in the region. And we believe that this is a beginning. We are migrating now from the issue of capacity building and also from research into the new pillar of Wascal, which is in climate and environmental service development and delivery. And essentially also to thank the board of Wascal very well under the leadership of Professor Madam Marie-Louise Kweshi for the support they have given Wascal to this extent, of which we are now doing the kickoff ceremony of circles today. I also want to appreciate the SAC. SAC is actually the Scientific Advisory Committee of Wascal. And I believe that this is one of the most important committee in Wascal because the SAC works closely in science. And I think everything about cycles is about science and data information. Without science, we cannot develop your services. But with good science and with good evidence-based science and data, we believe we can develop very productive services and innovation. So I want to thank also SAC and thank the chair of SAC for supporting us. And above all, I also want to recognize the importance of the capacity building. Capacity building is also very, very, very important here. And the capacity building department of Wascal, we have worked so hard, and we have produced our students more than 400, like I said, in the area of climate change, over 50, in fact, as a matter of fact, 59 in area of green hydrogen technology. So when you add this together, we have produced more than, we are close to now going to 500 in terms of capacity. And I think this is really a huge resource, for our region, not only in service development alone, but Wascal also has two other pillars. Number one is the pillar of capacity building, which I've just said, and then the second is in the area of what? Of research. So again, to thank all the scientists at the Competence Center, to thank every one of us at the Capacity Building Department. More importantly, also to thank our colleague and our partner, Jerix, here represented by Dr. Weber Torsten and Dr. Venisa. We are really very grateful. And again, we want to use this opportunity on behalf of management and on behalf of project circles to thank all our partners that are here this afternoon in the last 2 days. Partner institution, government institution, NGOs, CBOs, like I said, private organizations. We have all gathered here since yesterday to brainstorm, to learn from you. And I can tell you the discussions have been very, very rich, and we are really very grateful to this. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. So I'm just, I really thank you for reminding me about media. And we call them the fourth realm of the society, or the fifth realm of the society, fourth realm of the society. Okay. So we are very grateful to the media, 10 media representative here. That is quite huge. Please help me to put your hands together to all the media that are represented here. And my plea to you is that our doors is open. Our doors are open. Anytime you need any clarification or any information on circles, on our capacity building, in our research, please, you are welcome at any time to come to us to ask questions, do interviews, do prologues, etc., etc. We will be available to satisfy your need. Once again, we do appreciate your presence and all the very, very good questions that you have posed during this press review conference. Thank you once again, and I think on behalf of every one of us, I say,
funded and to the whole world we share it to let them know that what we have done today is not a waste of time, but it is what has been digested and it's been prolonged to the world. Thank you very much. And like Prof said, Let's have a nice evening. Thank you. So this brings us to the end of the press conference.
At the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Please don't say anything, just go upstairs.
Are you sure? Are you sure we have lunch? We're not going to be empty streets.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click on the bell for more updates.